need a drink to listen to these boys. I promise you, absolutely fantastic. And I think they're on the lookout for a drummer as well. So if you are a drummer or know someone that's interested, get in touch with the club, and I'm sure they can get onto the boys at Milarke. But yeah, sit back. Try to if you've got can turn the volume up on this one, because it's a lot of background noise going on at the club. We'll make no apologies whatsoever for that, because it's a vibrant night, lots going on. That's exactly what we want, and we were recording that in the midst of it. So yeah, just turn it up a little bit so you can hear, and you'll have a giggle, I promise. Right, I'm down at Newton Sports Club, and I'm delighted to join a band, and they're nothing to do with sport whatsoever, but Milarke. Welcome, gents. How are you doing?
We're all right. We've not said you joined yet, though.
I've got in front of me a bunch of comedians that also play music, and this is going to be a real tough interview on me. And if it gets tough, then I can make it tough for them as well. I'm sure, probably not, but let's go with. So I have got. Let's just make sure we've got Nick, we've got Steve, we've got Chris and James. Did I get that right?
That's right. Yes.
We started right. So gents, tell us a bit about yourselves. What type of music do you play? How long you've been together? Go for it.
We've been together 24 years. All from Newton le Willows.
Not married.
Not married?
Not married, no.
So you live in Sin?
Yes.
Okay.
We play a lot of... Hillstown's not Sin. You can't say that on a podcast. We are been together 24 years. We play all sorts, really. Kings of Leon, Beatles, Stereophonics, bit of Wham every now and again.
Oh, there's a fan in the background.
Yeah,
there's a Wham fan.
So we play all sorts, really.
Ah, brilliant.
Yeah.
And you're here tonight because the Rugby Union boys, I've got to be careful, because if I don't differentiate those codes, I get in all sorts of trouble here. So the Rugby Union guys, they've got their presentation awards tonight, and they've asked you to come along and perform for them.
Yeah, it's probably our, fifth year?
Yeah. Obviously before COVID we did a few, didn't we?
Yeah.
This is the first one after COVID.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know we were playing here until last week.
Oh, there you go.
I knew we had a gig.
Yeah.
I know it was right corner from the house.
Did we not tell you? All right. Okay.
Do you get left out often, or is it just once off?
It's
It's
don't
because he's
really
new.
pay attention.
It's because he's new, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's not, he doesn't get left out. He's just every lapse of days.
It's just that Steve usually just takes me to and from gigs, so I don't need to worry about the destination. It's all about the journey.
Yeah.
But you've got 23 and a half years worth of making up to do, to get into that. Yeah. So, yeah, good luck on that one. So tonight, looking forward to the awards ceremony and what you're going to perform for the boys and girls out there tonight.
Yeah, good. I think it's always a good night.
It's always a good crowd, isn't it?
Yeah. To be fair, when we play it like the Oak Tree and the Griffin, these lot come and watch us anyway, and it normally turns into. There's that time we played at the Oak Tree where they had to set off the fire alarm.
Yeah, they always end up half naked with the ties around
these
their
lot
edge
were
usually,
half
don't they?
naked, so the Oak Tree set off the fire alarm. Or the fire alarm got set off. I can't remember whether they did it on purpose or not, but anyway. But yeah, they come and watch us a bit, so.
Brilliant. So you're familiar with a lot of the players and those that are here tonight as well. And when you play, is it predominantly in the local area? Do you go further afield? What's that geography like?
Generally, we do the Griffin regular, we do the Oak Tree regular, we do Knowsley. Yeah, we more local really, but we do travel further afield. Like we get a lot of birthdays and weddings and things like that as well.
We're playing up in Thingy tomorrow night, aren't we?
Rotten
Way tomorrow night. So we do travel a bit. It depends if somebody rings us up and they say it's a good pub and they ask us to play there, then we'll do it. But
do an Anglesey, September.
Oh yeah, we're playing at a wedding.
Yeah.
There's a group of people we play for there, don't we? All there, do you?
We like Anglesey.
Oh, nice. That's a nice little trip away for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ah, decent. And hopefully the sun might shine round there. Debatable there, isn't it?
If anyone's listening from Monaco, we're open to gigs there.
Yeah.
Well, listen, this podcast has reached, honestly, it's gone out to Australia, America, all of the UK. The only place in the UK it hasn't hit so far, so all of the downloads is the East Coast, which is Norwich, Ipswich and all that, so that don't really count, does it? Let's be honest, no one really bothers about
it.
it.
There in 3 years, won't it?
Yeah. They probably haven't got Spotify
to travel from here to there by car.
Yeah. But they probably ain't got Wi-Fi at the moment around there, and there's all sorts of issues. But listen, if people in America or Australia are open for a bit of travel over there,
yeah, definitely.
If they're willing to pay, we'll play.
Yeah, that's true.
We've sold our souls.
Yeah.
So you think you can conquer America on the back of the podcast? What do you reckon?
I think so, and the rugby do. I think we're on our way.
I think you're onto it. I think you're onto it. So I assume a busy time of the year now coming up for you guys. So lots of weddings, christenings, birthday. In the summertime, everybody wants to celebrate and get bands in. You fully booked? You open? Do you need anything? What's it looking like in the next couple of months for you?
Yeah. Do you know what?
The worst band ever.
We used to play about. Well, I used to make us play probably twice every weekend.
Yeah, every Friday, Saturday we were doing it.
And then
point, weren't we?
a couple of my kids, excuse me, and then they said we don't want to do that. So I was like, tough. So we carried on.
We all aged.
Yeah, and then we got older, and then I think we do 2 a month now, don't we? This is the first weekend in probably 10 years we've done 2 gigs a weekend. But yeah, we normally do 3 gigs at a push a month. But we take August off, don't we? We have August as holidays, and but yeah, no, we've got a couple of Saturdays free. To be fair, I think.
I didn't know that we take August off, but
We did.
it's good to know.
So that's your holidays.
Thanks,
I'll
guys.
tell you because generally we're all off. We can take paid
Good.
leave.
I do have an holiday in August
Oh,
actually,
there you
so
go,
that,
then you fit well.
that coincides quite nicely.
Could you not do a solo? So you know just.
Don't talk about solos. No,
This is a solo
Don't talk about
artist
Chris.
singing guitar.
There's
Like, likes to moonlight.
there is a dog in the background. I'm not sure what it's doing there, but I believe it's okay. It's healthy. No, there's no issue with the dog.
Being kicked.
It's being kicked. Okay.
Right now.
Not being
Just
kicked.
disclaimer.
Disclaimer. Can we just say that Steve's point of view is nothing to do with Milarke?
Not presentation, please.
I do have a dog.
His views are his own.
Steve's views are not in line with the views of Milarke.
Or morals.
Is that Kurtz's dog?
Anyway.
Should we just move on from that dog? Because I think this is heading down a dodgy road.
Send me barking, mad.
I tell you, I told you there are a bunch of comedians, full-time comedians, part-time musicians.
Yeah.
So, in August, where you all off to on holidays? I know you only just found out that you're off through the month of August, but anyone going anywhere exotic?
No, just loads of camping with the kids, you know. You're going Turkey, aren't you?
I am indeed.
You're going to Milarke football club.
Turkey's the only place, honestly, in the world you don't have to go with any luggage. You can just buy everything there. It's brilliant.
Clothes, family.
Watches,
Yeah,
suitcases,
Usually branded and
everything.
fake.
Yeah.
Steve went last year and come out with a full of her.
Literally, you can go over there and buy your suitcase for the way home. It's
Well, we're getting a little bit of insight into the morals of the group, and that's brilliant. That,
All idiots.
yeah, when you're not
No, we had any.
when you're not playing on the side, you're selling dodgy watches from Turkey. So fair
Yeah,
play.
do you want
That's Chris.
to buy one?
Yeah. If you make shakes, yeah.
Got a tag whore.
Spelt with a W. Brilliant. Look, guys, I really do appreciate.
Tell them about your perfume, Chris.
Oh God, I was going to round that up, but someone's telling a joke in the background.
Yeah, Chris, tell them
Oh,
about
go on,
not
go on.
my perfume, you know, I just get knockoff perfume from Amazon.
You've been drinking that.
It's brilliant. It's perfume oil, it has a little roll on at the top.
Tell him one of the names.
But they have so like Creed, for example, is
Yeah.
called Greed Adventures. You know, Savage.
Yeah.
You know, it's called Savage Man.
What's Jean-Paul Gaultier?
It's £4.
What's Jean-Paul Gaultier? Was it Guilty?
Guilty Man.
Guilty man.
I'd just like to say, if you can smell him, you can tell it's fake.
Yeah, I've got a little whiff. Dragon's Den. There's probably an opportunity on there for you.
I mean, you know, I don't have any shares in it or anything, but you know,
You can sell other people's fake perfume. And watches.
£4 a go.
free delivery as well. You know.
I tell you what, that's a bargain nowadays. Only if you've got Prime. Fair play.
I love that you're selling like a perfume on a podcast. It's like the worst thing you could possibly do.
I thought I was going to have to promote you as a band, but it seems like the sidelines, the fake watches, perfumes, and
Well, the music's just a bit of a giggle.
yeah.
Our main thing's watches and puff up.
I introduced you as comedians. It's obviously your dodgy geezers, and that's absolutely fine with us. Brilliant.
Just tip me a pound in the toilets later when we give you your towels.
I just said give him the towel. Anyway.
It's not my club, so put that to Joe. But gents, look, listen, thank you very much for coming on. Good luck tonight. I'm sure you don't need the luck. Enjoy it, and yeah, let's hopefully get you back on the pod in the near future when you've conquered America. Remember this podcast when you've conquered America, right? Yeah. 100%. When you're on Radio 1 and Scott Mills and the guys are interviewing you, just say you just got nothing on Rob. Just nothing on him.
Our manager expectations were all too old and fat to go on.
No,
BBC Radio 1.
I don't know.
Or any smalls, mate.
Radio 2?
Yeah, Radio 2. That's
Radio
what
2.
our age group.
You were there. Brilliant, guys. Thank you very much, and all the best. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.
Milarke there with an interview. I hope it come across just how funny those guys are. Yeah, an absolute joy to have on the pod, and hope we do get them on in the near future again, because what a blast. And for someone that's sitting there trying to prep and ask them some questions, they just took me all over the place, and it had car crash written all over it, but it was so enjoyable. One of the best interviews I've had the opportunity to do. Now, we did have a match going on down at the club as well on Friday night, a T20 between Newton and Lee. Real rivalry between the two teams. Now, one thing I will say, that the weather was awful at the start, really overcast, absolutely tipping it down. And I think as I arrived, I got the opportunity to speak to the umpires. Didn't realise who they were. They were just having a chat. And they were looking, and they actually had to ask Chris, the cricket captain, to ask him how the pitch drained, etc. Was it worth hanging around? Did he think he'd be able to go on? And thankfully, with Chris's local knowledge, he was able to say, "Yeah, look, guys, just hold out; it'll be fine." And true to form, he was able to. The game was able to go ahead. So fair play, Chris, for passing that information on. But before the match started, the umpires, they're absolutely brilliant, actually. Just chilled out. They're having a chat with everybody. Yeah, and just like the players, they just seemed really enthusiastic to be there. You know, it was a bit of a chilly evening. The rain was coming down Friday night, but yeah, absolutely loved it. And I think it's really important that we don't forget officials. You know, we talk about grassroots, we talk about the kids that play, we talk about adults that play, we talk about coaches, parents, but the officials that turn up, that their involvement in the game is purely partial. Okay, impartial. Sorry. It's purely impartial. They have no set agenda other than to make sure that the game goes ahead within the rules, and obviously within the rugby and football type games and cricket, obviously, safely. Okay, so that's our real agenda. And you know, they don't just live on the doorstep. A lot of them are travelling around, and yeah, it's really important that we give them a shout. But the next interview I've got coming up here is Ben Walkden. Now, Ben, absolutely amazing lad, only 19 years old, a Lancashire county cricketer playing at Newton le Willows, and you can tell his love for Newton. And I think that's helped by the heritage that it comes from. His dad, his uncle, both played and captained the side. So, you know, it's no love lost. He's been down there from a really, really young age, but gone on to really good things. And you can hear in his interviews absolute love for Newton, as I just said. I got the opportunity to speak to him for about 10 minutes after as well. He was so down to earth, so brilliant. But even in this, you know, interview, he talks about training next to one of the greatest bowlers of all time in Jimmy Anderson. And at the same time, Ben just kept so humble, so level-headed. It's unbelievable. Whereas, you know, if I was training against legends like that, I'd be like, you know, I'd lose my head really. So absolutely brilliant, and it's a real pleasure to get Ben on. And I really want to thank him for his time, because he was willing and game to come over for the interview. He took it in his stride, and when you think that this is someone, an amateur podcaster that's doing this for the club, Ben plays for Lancashire, probably done so much more, media, etc., etc. And you would never have known in terms of his attitude. He was brilliant with me, very, very patient, and very, very chatty. So I do appreciate it. So yeah, sit back, and this young man, honestly, if you're a young sportsman, forget what sport you like, okay? Whether that be cricket, football, rugby, tennis, anything you think, right? Really sit back and listen to this, because this guy is an absolute inspiration. You'll take a lot from it. If you're not a young sportsman and you just enjoy sport, cricket, whatever, it's as good a listen anyway. But really enjoy this. I absolutely loved interviewing this guy.
Do you love the club? Are you a member, player or a fan? Visit our website nlwsports.co.uk for everything Newton le Willows Sports Club. Keep up to date with the latest news and progress of all of our sports teams, as well as what's going on at the club. nlwsports.co.uk. Well, welcome